Hello, my name is Karen Whittemore. I am a family nurse practitioner. I have been in practice for 25 years now. I started out as a registered nurse back in 1992, and I can tell you I have seen a lot of changes in medicine over the years. When I was starting, we were back to paper charting, and I have seen so many advances in how we practice medicine and the technology that's available to us. I went and got my degree in science of nursing in 1998 and have been a board certified family nurse practitioner ever since then. And I can tell you, I have never seen anything quite like the LifeWave technology patches with the X39 and the other patches that this company has. And today I would like to spend a few minutes sharing how these patches work, what their benefits are, and why you might be interested in using them for your own health and wellness program. But first of all, I would like to share a story about Naomi Cook. Naomi was a very sickly child. She had a lot of health issues. She had chronic sinus infections and headaches. She constantly had recurrent ear infections and tonsillitis. She said that she had so many allergies that when she went and had her allergy testing done, she was allergic to 50% of the environmental toxins. She remembers that she would run from the car to go indoors just to get away from the allergies. And that also left her with severe chronic headaches. She also had severe abdominal gut pain issues and suffered from irritable bowel syndrome. She had a gallbladder removal at the age of 16, and then followed by that, she did a Nissen fundoplication surgery. So this is a surgery that they use to tighten up the space between the esophagus and the stomach to try to help prevent the acid reflux because her acid reflux was so severe. She said after these surgeries, her health just went further and further downhill. She was finding it was difficult for her to absorb nutrients, and she went and saw a gastroenterologist to see what she could do for this abdominal pain. She had colonoscopies done, she had endoscopies done, and nobody could give her any sense of what she could do. She also suffered from endometriosis and had horrible periods, which would leave her bedridden during her cycles. And she also had horrible joint pain and had MRI after MRI to try to figure out what was causing her pain and couldn't find any answers and was getting no relief. She suffered from fatigue, adrenal fatigue. She had hypothyroidism. She had hypoglycemia, so her blood sugars were always running too low, which would leave her weak and sweating and shaky. She also went and saw the eye doctor, and he was shocked. At the age of 32, she looked like she needed to wear bifocals, which you generally don't need something like that until the age of 40. So she was really aging rapidly. She also suffered from insomnia. She had seen a provider who measured her levels of GABA and serotonin and found that these were way too low and, in fact, preventing her from being able to sleep well. She started supplementing with these things, but these things just didn't make a difference. She still couldn't sleep at night. She started using supplements and started changing her diet to see what relief that she could get with her problems. She started doing an autoimmune diet, so that's getting rid of gluten, sugar, corn. She wouldn't have any soy in her diet. She didn't have any dairy or eggs, and found that once in a while, she would have a day where she didn't have any pain. But it wouldn't last. She would always go back to the chronic severe pain. And she had a daughter, she had to work, and she said that she was so afraid that one day she would wake up and just not be able to go to work and do anything. She was she was just dragging herself out of bed, forcing herself to do the things that she needed to do to keep them alive. Well, her mother started using the LifeWave patches, and she convinced Naomi to give them a try. And we will be sharing her mother's story next week. But Naomi tried a particular protocol that we call the rebalance protocol. So this is using a number of patches, including the X39 stem cell activation patch, in a particular order. And if you would like to know more information about the rebalance protocol, you can just talk to the person who invited you here, and they should be able to give you more information about that. But after a few days of using the rebalance protocol, she noticed that her head just started draining. And she said that it felt like her head was 10 pounds lighter. After 5 days of patching, her gut pain was gone and she could not believe it. Of course, she had occasionally one day where she would be pain-free and then it would always go back. So she didn't want to get her hopes up too high. But after day 7 and the pain was still gone, she was so excited. She called her mother and she was just in tears, in such gratitude for her mother sharing the information about the patches. She just couldn't believe it. After a month, her scars were healing. And after 2 months, her periods were regulated and the endometriosis issues were gone. After 3 months, she noticed that the headache had completely gone away. The brain fog was cleared up. She had no more fatigue. She was able to get up and do things and actually decided to go back to school. She was sleeping like a baby, even though she had had such insomnia before, and her thyroid levels normalized without medication. And she said that she really felt like the patches were helping make the connection from her gut to her brain. Everything was finally communicating the way it was supposed to, and she was finally able to use the supplements and things that she had been doing. She went and saw the eye doctor about a year after she started the patches, and he couldn't believe it because there was no longer any of the presbyopia. She no longer had to hold things close and she was no longer needing bifocals. Not only that, but her right eye had gone into 20/20 vision. With her allergies, she said that the following season, she was able to go outside and not have any of the suffering that she did from the allergies. The allergies were just gone. So in fact, we've got a picture of her hiking. And this was the following year that she had started using the patches. And this hike was about 3 miles. And the fact that she was able to do this, she didn't have the joint pain, she didn't have the abdominal pain, she had the energy to do this, was really something amazing. And she felt like this really gave her a new lease on life. She's 37 years old right now, and you can hear that over half of her life was spent in just agony. She started using the patches in 2020. So my question for you is, have you been patched yet? I have been using the X39 patches for about 3 years now. How would you like to experience a level of health and vitality that you have not experienced since your youth? This elevates, activates, regenerates your stem cells. Imagine having no pain, sleeping through the night, having more energy, and reversing aging. So that's what we're trying to do. All of us are trying to be younger, healthier, but as we age, we actually lose stem cells. Our stem cells decline with age. So the fewer stem cells you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. That's why somebody who's older, it takes them so long to recover. And hundreds of millions of people are experiencing symptoms of aging, like myself. I'm 57 years old, and I was noticing I was not sleeping well through the night. I was getting up about every hour or two to pee. I was noticing that my skin was getting thin under my eyes, and I was getting recession in my hairline, which I did not like. As we age, the stem cells in our body become less and less effective. By age 60, the stem cells in our body show very little activity. They're becoming slower and releasing less of the growth factors that are needed to repair our body. And by the time we are in our mid-70s, we are showing almost no stem cell activity at all. And that's why people do have a difficult time healing from injury. LifeWave does have a disclaimer. LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. And before embarking on any new medical product or program, you always do want to consult your medical provider. This little patch is not curing you. It's not healing you. It's not doing any of that. What it's doing is it's giving you the tool that you need so that your body can start doing the repairs that it has wanted to make for years. So, how does the X39 work? I think of the X39 as the holy grail of reverse aging. It is copper peptides. It's increasing your production of copper peptides, and it's made out of organic nanocrystals. The LifeWave X39 patch elevates the copper peptide for the activation of stem cells, and it is clinically proven to enhance overall health and vitality. So what this is doing, it's got the organic nanocrystals, and this is a form of frequency medicine. So Albert Einstein said in his day that frequency medicine would be the medicine of the future, and I completely believe that. A good example of that is when you go out in the sun. The sun has a specific frequency wavelength of light that hits your skin and gives it a signal telling you, hey, it is time to start producing vitamin D. The sun is not giving you vitamin D, it's telling you to start making vitamin D. And this patch is working in the same way. You put it on, our body's heat activates it. And that heat is actually in the form of spectrum called far infrared light. You can see it with night vision goggles. As that light hits the patch, it becomes infused with a particular frequency that then goes back into the skin, giving your body a signal telling it, hey, it is time to start producing copper peptide. So what are the health benefits of copper peptide? Well, the NIH, the National Institute of Health, has this to say about copper peptide on their website. Copper peptide stimulates blood vessel and nerve outgrowth and increases collagen and elastin for visible anti-aging. Copper peptide's ability to improve tissue repair has been demonstrated for skin, lung connective tissue, bony tissue, liver, and stomach lining. Copper peptide has also been found to possess powerful cell-productive actions such as multiple anti-cancer activities and anti-inflammatory actions, as well as having anti-anxiety, anti-pain, and anti-aggression activities. And these are just the first couple of lines. It goes on and on with other benefits. So who came up with this? Well, our inventor and CEO, founder of this company, is David Schmidt. He has over 130 US patents. He is a scientist and inventor. He is a two-time recipient of the Advanced Technology Award from the International Hall of Fame. So how did he first come up with this? Well, the military was working on a way to help Navy SEALs stay awake and alert for 30 hours in a mini sub without using any harmful drugs or chemicals. And he came up with the first prototype, the Energy Enhancer Patch. And when he came up with this, he realized, you know what, I really have something here that could really help a lot of people. And he knew that if he just kept it to himself in the military, then only the US Navy SEALs and other military functions of the US government would have access to it. And he realized that this was something so wonderful that everybody throughout the world should have access to this benefit. So he started the company called LifeWave. This was back in 2004. And in its first year, it did $17 million in sales. This company has unique products. So if you are looking at it from a business standpoint, it's kind of exciting because these are exclusively protected by multiple patents. If you want stem cell activation using your own body's stem cells, where nothing, no chemical or harmful medication is entering your system and you're not using anybody else's stem cells, this is the only way to do it, is by becoming a preferred customer or a brand partner. There are over 80 research and clinical studies. There are independent researchers and universities which have studied this, and medical scientific experts. In fact, this is one of those studies. On the bottom screen, you see the brain scan of a 77-year-old female. This is brain mapping. And you can see on the side, it shows that when the color is more red, that shows it that the higher the voltage of the brain. So in this first session, this was before starting the X39, you can see that this is a very overactive, probably very inflamed brain. She's probably got some anxiety going on as well. And in session 2, after she's been on the X39 for 3 weeks, you can see that the brain appears much more calm. And after 6 weeks, she maintains that calmness. And that is really something when you stop to think about in the mid 70s, we have almost little to no stem cell activity of our own at all. So the fact that this patch was able to activate what she had and she was still able to get benefit and use is quite a testimonial for this patch. And here on this other side, you can see the patent. And you don't get patents, by the way, unless you can prove what you were saying the patent does. And in this patent, it states that it elevates copper peptide activating stem cells. And we do have studies that show that within 7 days of using this patch, it increases your copper peptide levels dramatically. So what are the benefits from using the X39? Well, in studies, we've shown that you can have rapid pain relief, reductions in inflammation. It supports wound healing. And by the way, the reduction in inflammation happens within 24 hours of using the patch. And we have some amazing testimonials on the wound healing and pictures. It increases energy and vitality, mental clarity. It can help enhance sports performance, faster recovery from exercise for all you athletes out there. You can have improved skin appearance. And I noticed for myself, I was actually able to dramatically improve my sleeping, which also meant more mental clarity during the day. If you don't sleep well at night, your brain is much more sluggish during the day. And so I was able to get my charting and things done much faster. I also noticed that my tissue started becoming more plump under my eyes, and the hairline that was receding along the sides started filling in. So I really have been enjoying this thoroughly. And what is happening on the inside of your body? So within the first few days, you can expect that 4,000 genes will begin to reset. That is a third of the body's genome. Within 6 weeks, your brain becomes much more calm, much more balanced, so decreases symptoms of PTSD, anxiety, and depression, as we saw with the brain mapping photos. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased, which that's great for the outside, decreases in wrinkle, hair growth increases, but it's also important for your structural integrity, for both your skeletal structure and your musculoskeletal system. Within 6 months, the heart reverses in age. Now, that is a bold statement, and that is based on a study that was done with 14 out of 15 people who were using the X39 for a period of 6 months. They found that they had lowered their vascular age by 6 months. So it's not anti-aging. This is age reversing. So when you consider that cardiovascular disease is still a #1 killer, everybody needs this. Everybody can use cardiovascular benefits. And one of the cool things that I love about these patches is that it really uses the body's intelligence as to what to repair first. So you may be wearing the patches hoping, hey, man, I really hope that it's going to improve my back within 3 months and I won't have any more problems. But if your main issue, maybe you've got some cardiovascular issue or problems with your kidneys, your body is going to know where those reserves are, where that healing energy is going to be needed first. And your healing energy is going to go to those sites. So where can you go if you want to learn more about these products? We do have a website. It's called yourteaminmotion.com. You may want to write this down, yourteaminmotion.com. We have testimonials on there. We've got more information about the different products and business information. So if you are interested, I want you to check out that website and get back with the person who invited you here today. They will know how best for you to get started in the patches and what might be the most economical thing for you to do. There are different ways to get access to it without having to pay retail prices, which brings the retail price is about $150 a month for the X39, and you can actually get access to this for $100 a month by becoming a brand partner or a preferred customer. So your person who invited you should be able to help you determine what might be best for you if you're interested in embarking on this journey to try and help your own wellness program. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. And thank you, Naomi, for allowing me to share her story. And I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday. Thanks. Bye-bye.